Good morning, Johnson County. This is Tiffany, Carlen, and Nona Reed on JoCo Vibes here on JoCo Community Radio. Hope you're enjoying this delicious morning weather that we're getting. It's 67 degrees here in Burleson, Texas, with a high of 88. And yesterday just hit that only hit a high of 88 as well. And it felt, I was like, wow, when I came out of the office to leave, I was like, damn, it feels really good out here. And I had, kind of a sleeveless top on, and I was like, I think I actually could have worn like a regular shirt. So we're getting some good temps.
Yeah.
How are you this morning?
Good.
How was your weekend?
It was good.
I always forget, like, this is our Monday on air. Even though it's not our Monday, but it's our Monday on air.
It was
So,
good. Yeah, I got actually a lot accomplished.
I was going to say, seemed productive and
got to see my friend's daughter do her ring dunk. So went down to Aggie Land.
So is that like just an Aggie thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
I think it is. I mean, for the most part, I think it is. So basically, they get their ring the day before. Well, no, it just depends on when they do it. Some people did it that night too. So they get their ring and they have a big ceremony. And from what I understand, I missed that part because that was the day before for this young lady. They get their ring presented to them from an an alumni.
Okay.
And it's someone that's in their life and is special in their life. So, but I will tell you, I'm not a huge Aggie fan, even though I'm partial Aggie from Charlton, but I was so impressed with the community.
Like the alumni community?
No, the community itself. She had she had college, she had teachers, she had professors there.
Okay.
So professors were jumping to different parties. Some were staying longer, some were staying, short time. But she had one there that was there the whole time, which she might not have had other parties to go to that day. But she also, like, some of the teachers, because she works in an after school program in the school district, came and were supportive and there for her.
That's awesome.
I mean, the community really, it's a huge ordeal. And so they have this pitcher of beer, and supposedly it was warm from what my husband was telling me. So they set it out so there's no froth.
Okay.
Right? And so it's hot. And she's not really a beer drinker.
Like, why couldn't you pour the pitcher and then put it in a refrigerator? Because the froth will go away if it's sitting in a refrigerator.
I don't know, but
because all right, so the whole premise is you dunk your ring and then you got to chug
your ring at the bottom, and then you have to chug it to get your ring again. It's called a ring dunk.
Okay.
So, I mean, everyone has their own little method of doing it. We kept telling her, like, just kind of act like you're drinking it, let it run down the side of your neck. But she was trying to be so prim, being the sweet young lady she always is, and following by the rules. And she was really trying to drink this whole pitcher of beer.
Good God.
And we were very much into it. Most people will finish it in, like, 56 seconds because they're letting it just run down them, and she's trying to really drink it. And she looks at it and she's not even halfway done. And so she tries to drink some more, and she gets a little further underneath the halfway, and finally she just looks and she's like, dunks it on her head.
That's a good enough dunk then.
Yeah,
you get rid of it. Do people tend to, like, step in and help a sister out or a brother out when they?
I did see some people trying to help her, but, like, they were trying to give her advice and stuff, but you can't. You can't help. You can't help drink it. It's yours.
You have to do it.
So it's really cool.
So how did it go over with her dumping half of it over her head? Was that, like, celebrated still?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, That's a great accomplishment anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant
And
to
the
be
thing
fun.
is they like I think she's not until 2024, so they get their rings early.
Oh, how come?
I don't know. It's someone have to tell me that's an Aggie. I don't know the whole why tradition.
Okay, so she doesn't graduate until 2024, and she's getting her ring 2 years early.
Well, yeah, about a year and a half.
Okay, that's kind of weird. Isn't that weird?
I don't know.
All right, I don't know either because I have nothing to compare it to. So I don't know.
And I know she's 2024 because that's because she was being unprecise about when she was going to do the dunk, and one of her teachers that she does the after school program with, she goes, "You're going to do it at 7:24 since that's the year you graduate." So we made her do it at 7:24.
Okay, well, that's
But
cool.
it was cool. I FaceTimed Haley so she could watch because she's known this lady for a while, and this young lady. And so, she had other plans that day, but, that way she could see, and they enjoyed it.
Participate together.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll get to do that someday herself.
But it was a great turnout. Well, I mean, she won't probably be doing that because Tarleton doesn't do anything like that.
Oh,
that
they
I
don't?
know of.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I didn't. I mean, I wasn't traditional either, but still.
Oh, well.
Someone that's
Doesn't
more
matter.
educated in the Aggie land can tell us more, but yeah, I'm not.
I don't know. I'm not up to date on all that kind of stuff
It was
whatsoever.
It was so funny because I forgot how like in love Aggies are with just the whole school system kind of thing. And I didn't think about, oh, we should probably wear something Aggie colors.
Which is
Jesse,
maroon,
yeah.
right?
And Jesse had this bright aqua Under Armour shirt on, and
They're like, "Hey, are you here for the Miami Dolphins?"
right.
You know, when Tamara graduated from my sister Tamara, when she graduated from East Texas State University, which is now Texas A&M Commerce. I don't think they did anything yet like that because A&M hadn't taken over the school yet when she graduated from there.
Well, see, A&M was part of this. I mean, Tarleton was at that time. We had the bonfire, but it wasn't as big as the Aggie. And then it was about that time that we had the bonfire accident that A&M had to kind of stop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot
when
about that.
I was going to school.
Really?
Yes.
I guess I didn't realize it was that long ago when that happened.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Well, you're welcome. No problem.
I didn't know it was that long ago. No. Yeah.
Come on, I'm your age, so I mean, it's not like, you know.
Giving you a hard time.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Many moons ago,
that
when the dinosaurs went to college also.
Okay, I get it. It sounded a little bad, and I didn't mean it like that.
No, I'm just joking.
I didn't mean it like that. All right, well, awesome. Well, I got to celebrate an amazing young woman, people that I truly love in this town. I got to celebrate Tyson and Destiny. My friend Shelly's kids are having a baby.
I know, and I'm sorry.
Her name's gonna be Silver. Let me tell you, they made out like bandits. Okay, there were like 60 people there. It was a blast.
It's because they're very loved.
They are very loved, and
because they're great people.
If you don't know Tyson, he's one of the instructors over at TXBBA
and one of my ex-students.
Yes, and we adore him. So,
love me.
All right, stay tuned. We're going to come back right to the break and talk about our focus word of the week. Stay with us.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look,
Miss Dixie,
look.
how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys.
Hi,
I
Mom.
just wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I
my
would rather
God.
have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
Hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
Love you.
girl. I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities
My mom, love
Oh,
you.
Dixie.
I love you too.
with Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JoCo Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Welcome back. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoCo.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And our station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. That's TheTiffie.com. This morning would have been is a great morning where you, if you have a pair of Tiffy sleeves, you could just slide them on during the cool weather, and then you can just take them right off because you're not trapped in layers of clothing. So if you don't know anything about it, go to thetiffy.com. You can also go to tiffysleeves.com and it'll take you to the same place. So anyway, made in the USA, completely made in the USA. I'm Tiffany Carlen and Nona Reed with JoCo Vibes. We're diving into the second half. I just want to send prayers to all those in Puerto Rico who are still playing cleanup, and prayers for Councilman Stanford and his wife who have been deployed by FEMA and are now in Puerto Rico to help there and are actually training some new. I know that Jamie's actually training some new people for a week and a half, and then they'll be shipped off to Florida to help there. So prayers and safe travels for them, and prayers for everyone in Florida who's on the road evacuating. Hurricane Ian has strengthened and right now is set to slam into Tampa, where my brother lives, at a category 4. So hopefully that will, Ian will slow his engines down and not hit that hard, because I just had the pleasure of spending 5 days in Siesta Key and I would really like to go back there. So prayers for all of them. And like there was some area there that flooded really bad just from rain. So and praying that Patriots Pier survives as well. And I hope he's taken down all of his flags. And if you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, Google Patriots Pier on Siesta Key and you'll know what I'm talking about. So so prayers for all of them. Just want to head into the week keeping all those people in our thoughts and prayers. My sister on the east coast of Florida will probably end up getting she's going to get some residual
Mhm.
weather from it and some probably 50 to 75 mile an hour winds by the time it hits over there. Just depends on how much she slows down.
Right.
So, usually we start the show out with our focus word of the week, and I didn't do that. So I'm going to give us our focus word of the week. And if you're just joining us for the first time, this is something that we do every week. It's a great book. It's called How One Word a Week Will Transform Your Life, and it's by Clear Cherry Reeves. And I got this from the Mary and Martha
Mm-hmm.
company, and I absolutely love that company. So if you're ever looking for faith-based gifts or just faith-based things to keep around the house, this is really a great line, and I can hook you up with someone who sells it. So, freedom. That was the word last week, wasn't it? I don't think
Yes, it was.
It was. I didn't move my thing. All right. So the focus word of this week is good morning, Tish. The focus word of the week this week is renew. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. And that's Colossians 3:2. The focus tip for the word of the week is this week, as you focus on the word renew, try to capture your negative thoughts and recalibrate your mind and into thoughts of gratefulness and love. Renew your thoughts. So simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple, but we all get trapped in like the craziness of it every day. But I like that.
Mm-hmm.
As you focus on the word renew, try to capture your negative thoughts and recalibrate your mind into thoughts of gratefulness and love. So let's begin the day with gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every single day, you wake up, that's the first thing to be grateful for.
Right.
I'm awake again, and mindset. And if you can change that mindset in the morning, and this is not my wisdom, this is wisdom that I'm gaining from my coach and the people that I'm around and surrounded with, is to just, if you start your day in that mindset, it changes your day.
Yep.
Like Todd and I will joke every morning. One of us will get up and we'll pull the drapes open and go, rise and shine. It's time to start the day. And we're joking with each other because it was something that
Jesse better
started
not
as a
do
joke.
that. It's too early for when he leaves.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Yeah, they'd be like, I'm going to kill you. Get out.
There goes that positive.
Yeah, right. But it started out as this joke, but what it does is it actually makes us giggle at each
Mhm,
other every
right.
morning, and it starts that pace.
Mhm.
So, and now the next new thing that starts our the pace of our morning off a little more joyful is not having to argue with any children about getting up for school, because we have now removed our
I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing.
it is. I'm not. Would I have? Okay, if we had discussed, or if you had ever discussed homeschooling with me 10 years ago, my answer was hell no.
Girl, I was an educator for 20 years. I was dead set against it. I mean, if anyone, our oldest should be mad because he didn't even, well, he didn't want to be in school at all. But I mean, Haley's even made the comment. And I'm like, you never even suggested or wanted to go. But I mean, even when Dalton started talking about it in 6th grade, way before COVID, I kept saying, no. And for 3 years, I fought him.
I see the power in it now
Mhm.
more than ever. Would I have
There's some
wanted
great positives.
would I have wanted to do it in elementary school? No. I did not have the patience
Mhm.
for that. Especially not with multiple toddlers.
Right.
I did not have the patience
Mhm.
for it. I also feel that I believe that during that time, that can also be
It's very fundamental too.
a very powerful thing for them to
Mhm.
be in school. But at the same time, now with the homeschooling program that I've chosen, and it's a Christian based one, and looking how they start out their program as these foundational things,
Mhm.
that too was also powerful. So there's so many now.
And the boys are doing 2 different things, correct?
Yeah, they're doing 2
Yeah.
different things. Maverick is my senior, and
Zion.
he's doing Zion, which is completely online.
And it's also Christian based.
And it's also Christian based,
Mhm.
yes. And his is completely online. So he's doing all of his stuff on the computer.
Mhm.
Maximus, who we have not formally announced this to the school district yet, but we pulled him out this week.
Mhm.
due to some issues that I don't want to discuss just yet, but I will discuss them complete. Well, I kind of discussed it a little bit last
Yeah, you
week,
did.
but going to go into more details to what prompted this decision, of which we didn't make by ourselves. We had this discussion with our son. So he was a part, our 12-year-old was a part of this conversation and
Right.
the choice, because we wanted to make sure he was comfortable with it.
Right.
And so in talking to him about it, one of the things that he was so concerned about, he goes, but my friends. And I said, well, let's keep it in perspective here for a minute. When you go to school, it's not social time.
Right.
It's not time to play with your friends. I get that it's fun to see them and you enjoy those things, but it's not social time. It's
Right.
time to go and learn and be in that setting. And he goes, yeah, but when am I going to see them? I said, well, let's talk about that too. I said, what happened during COVID? Did you lose any of your friends? He goes, well, no. I said, right. And you guys were all home on, doing school by yourselves and not even getting to hang out.
Right.
I said, and your friendship survived through that. And of course, this was a conversation, was it Thursday or Friday? We kept him home because he had to have an X-ray on his wrist. And so I was like, get your schoolwork done or get caught up. Maybe it was Thursday because it was right before the end of the 6 weeks was Thursday, and he had a couple things that he had to.
I think it was Thursday.
He had to turn in, and I said, you could be doing this every day and have so much more freedom to do the PJ golf stuff that you want to do, to go to TXPBA for boxing, and then if we're going to get on the road and travel, you get to come with us.
Right.
I'm like, we could take all these different trips, and what would be cool is if it even kind of coincides with what he's learning in history or social studies, to do stuff like that. And so
that is some things I still want to do.
Yeah. And I think the difference too is that, and why I'm so excited about it now is that he's very self-sufficient. He's a self-motivator, and he can work. The schooling that I chose, that I'm waiting on confirmation from, is actually textbooks, and they're not on the computer. That's that makes me super happy, because I think that that's a big part of a contributing problem with our kids in school right now, is that they're staring at a computer for as long as their parents are at work, if they're on a computer, and it's terrible for their eyes.
Oh yeah, my eyes. I mean, ever since I've gone to sorry.
Well, and the schools are not implementing the 20-20-20 rule that I know of. I've asked my son, and the 2020, because our kids' eyes are deteriorating faster, at a faster rate than ever before. And so the 20-20-20 rule, which is what the eye doctors recommend, is every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds.
Right.
Every 20 minutes, because they're so in front of technology all day long, their eyes are not getting a break.
Right.
And so it's the 20-20-20 rule. And if you look it up, there's a great graphic in my eye doctor's office. If you ever go to Mr. Eye Doctor, right? Is that it?
Yes.
Mr. Eye Doctor here in Burleson. He's got a great poster of the 20-20-20 rule in his office, but you can get it online too. And I highly recommend that for parents. And if your school is not promoting that, I highly suggest that you bring awareness to them that this is something that should be done.
We all should be doing it.
Yes, we all should be doing it. You're right.
That's was the point, was it's not happening in our schools, and we even tend to do that, being on our computers more. We tend to forget, or tend to not take a break, or so. I mean,
I just think that the teaching in general has become so relied upon
100%.
the computer versus personal interaction between the teachers. Now, this may not be, this depends on the class, it depends on the teacher, and it depends on the course.
Right.
I think high school has gotten way worse. And not everybody learns that way.
Right.
so they crave that interaction. Maverick, my senior right now, his goal is to just
But
he's
that's
fast tracking.
yeah,
He wants to be
he's-
done. He'll be 18 in December, and he's like, I just want to be done. He goes, I'm done.
Mhm.
I'm just done with this craziness.
right.
And so, but
School's
Maximus
looked
is
at a
different.
totally different way now. Remember back in the day when school was, um, you know, yes, some people got to go and some people didn't. Some people were working on their farm most of the time, but you know, they did go there to learn when they were there, and then they left and then went home and started working on the farm again.
Right.
So, I see a transition of our kids, some of our kids starting to get back into that. I want to get this out of the way, get what I need to know and learn, and then I
I
need
want
to
to start my
move on.
future.
Mhm.
That was one of the things. I know we talked about this a little bit last week or last Thursday after the Keene, or did we? After the Keene Chamber of Commerce luncheon, the
Yes.
Keene superintendent spoke.
Oh my gosh, he was so great.
Yeah, honestly, he was.
And we're gonna have him on.
Yeah, we're gonna have him
we
on
talked
soon.
to him.
Because they've got some really, gosh, can you pull that up really quick? The
Mhm.
their mission statement
Yeah.
and their
They're
20
20.
blah blah blah. I wrote it down
I
and
know.
the
I
piece of paper is sitting
know.
in the other room. But if you can pull it up really quick, because it's really amazing. I was so impressed
And
with Keene's superintendent. He was extremely transparent. He was extremely authentic, and he was like, "Look, in 10 years, you have never heard me talk about test scores,
right.
grades,
Grades. He said grades.
and there was one other thing. He's like, you're never going to hear me talk about that. He goes, my goal is to make sure that
Mhm.
these kids graduate well-rounded
Mhm.
so that they can go out and be successful in the world. And there's so many attributes that contribute to that. It's not about grades, and it's not
Right.
about school district test scores.
Nope.
And it's not about, federal, how much better can we get so we can get more money from the federal government, so we can get more funding from the state. So
They do.
that's kind of the
they-
problem. That's kind of the problem with public school in general, is
Mhm.
that it's no longer about the education. It's about how much more funding can we get
Right.
to make sure we can do all the things we want to do.
It's
Could you
called Keen 22.
Keen
So
22? Okay.
There's 22 things they woven into their system to starting at pre-K that they want their young men and women to graduate with. And some of them you think, and I love so I'm going to read I'll read the top, say 10 real
Wait,
quick.
before you read that, can I read their mission really quick? Because their
Okay,
mission is so
yes.
simple,
Mhm.
so incredibly
Mhm.
simple.
Right. Go
Every
ahead.
child, every need, every day.
Yes. Very
Every
simple.
every
day,
child.
every day, every need, every child.
I mean, you can't get more
I know, right?
specific.
And they had a jazz band there. They had some debating it was the girls debate team.
The girls debate team.
And then they had
they
what was
celebrated
he?
they celebrated a student who is one of 3 finalists in the honors for this. It's for the state.
Yes. Mhm.
So it was a student from Keene. There's a student from Joshua, and I believe one from Cleburne.
Mhm.
Those were the top 3
Right.
finalists. We're going to have him on, so
Yes.
we'll talk about that at a later date. But just
So,
talk about some of these 22.
It says the Keen 22 is the soft skills portion of our profile to graduate of a graduate. At KISD, our students are more than just a test score. We recognize that we need skills that give them the edge, not only globally, but over the young men and women down the road in Johnson County. The King 22 is woven into fabric of everything we do. Starting at pre-K, our desire is to build well-rounded, courteous, polite, team building young men and women that will have a leg up in the world because of how they interact with people. And here's just the top 10. Remember, there's 22. Respond to adults with yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Make eye contact when someone's speaking. Congratulate the winner. Do not brag if you win. Do not show anger if you lose. Show rules and classroom rules still apply when guests are in the building, or school rules. When adults do something nice for you, acknowledge it, shake their hand, and ask, and as you thank them. Never cut in line, and I'll explain that one here in a minute. Surprise others being performing random acts of kindness. Greet visitors and make them more feel welcome. Stand up for what you believe in. And number 10, learn from your mistakes and move on. And I said there's 22. Now let's talk about this never cut in line, because he used
so
a
good.
great, he said, you know, you say never cut in line and people go, oh, that's so kindergarten-ish, you know. But no, what they're teaching them is not to put yourself first, is what he's saying. So, you know how when someone cuts in line, they're putting themselves first.
Yep.
And he's like, no, we're teaching them not to put themselves first. So I thought that was great, where, you know, it says never cut in line, but there's 22 of them. Guys, they're great. Now, let me tell you a little secret a lot of people don't know. Before I came to
It's not a secret. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
You started out at Keene.
I started out at Keene, and I loved it, and they wanted me back, but there wasn't a position at the time. I had finished graduating. They had something for me the next year, but I was ready to start working. And there was an opening at Kerr, and that's why I took it. Yes, they, of course, Burleson pays more. But I will tell you, if I probably had it to do over again, and I loved my Burleson kids, let me just tell you. But I also loved my Keene kids. And believe it or not, I'm still Facebook friends with a lot of those kids that are now in their late 30s and have their own children. And some of them live here in Burleson.
Babies having babies, but they're not babies.
Yes. I mean, I had one that got pregnant in 8th grade, and she was one of my cheerleaders. And I honestly, I did not know what her future was going to entail. And years later, she sent me an invite, and I went to her graduation. She walked the stage at Keene. That's how motivated they are to make sure their kids graduate. And she is now, I mean, gosh, she's got adult kids now herself.
Yeah, but I mean, that just speaks a lot. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we are still friends on Facebook.
What status of life,
her life, and what her children are doing. And I look at them and I go, oh my gosh, your child looks the spitting image of you when you were in school. So, but I mean, Keene is a great school, and I'm glad that they have stayed so grounded.
Well, you started their cheer program.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
And
I was approached and said, will you start the cheer program? I said, I didn't cheer. I was in drill team. And they're like, learn.
We don't care.
Yeah. And I did. I did some research. I went to Cleburne. I wrote the handbook, everything. Now they have a football team. I mean, I was like amazed when we were there. I was like, they've got a football team, because that was the biggest thing the kids
They do
wanted.
a lot of stuff. I liked hearing the superintendent of Keene talk about going to the debate.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, look, I was expecting them to be arguing about very simple things.
Right.
You know, what makes a great country, and I can't remember all the things he said.
I know.
And he goes, but that's not what they were debating. They were debating about public school. They were debating about what they were being taught. They were debating about national issues and governmental issues. And he was like, I was mind blown with how well-rounded these girls were, and how good they were at debating the points. And I think part of his point of using them as an example was part of this Keene 22, where you know, the eye contact and staying engaged with someone when you're talking to them. And I just loved it. I was so very, very impressed. And what I loved seeing most was the current assistant superintendent. You were like, that's that. Yep.
Her and
I worked with her.
She was a history teacher when I was there,
and
when she saw me.
So when Nona said hi to her,
I was saying hi to Mr. Steve.
Oh yeah. The other,
and she heard me,
and then she
heard my name, and she looked over.
She looked up, and then she looked up and was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" And it was just such it was
She
a great
came
thing to
over
be
and ran
stepping,
over.
like
Yes.
standing behind you and to see how excited she
Aw, thank
got that it
you.
was you.
And I
And
got
so
to
I
see the
I
former
enjoyed that.
superintendent that I worked under, and
Yeah.
she was there for 30 years. Wonderful
I
woman.
will tell you,
She actually texted me and said, "It was so great to see you." And
I will tell you, if you've never been to a Keene Chamber of Commerce luncheon, I really highly recommend going. The tables are always full.
they are.
Extremely kind people,
Mhm.
and it's not just Keene. There's a ton of members who are from Cleburne, Joshua,
Mhm.
Burleson.
A lot of Johnson County
A lot
elected
of your elected
officials
officials show up
go
at
to
this
the Keene
one.
one. I do notice
I
that.
find that interesting because I don't see that it.
I don't see them as much like when we go to Cleburne, and Cleburne has it going on, as I
Yeah,
as
it
I have
just
said.
depends.
Cleburne has it going on too.
But I don't
But
see the
I
county.
love Keene luncheons. They are always very full, and we see a lot of more elected officials that are in
Well,
the,
countywide.
Yeah.
I'll say this, when I was a member of the Burleson Chamber, I did not see a lot of those county representatives
Mhm.
showing up at that. So at those lunches. So
I
it's
know
really
Sabrina's done a lot,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
proud of her,
I'm
and
not
she's working on it. Yeah, I know you're
not
not.
discounting that.
Well, we haven't been since Sabrina's took over either, but,
Well, I mean, we've been to a couple events, but
yeah, we have.
anyway, so it's just an interesting observation that they show
Mhm.
up in Keene. So I just uh I'm curious to kind of look at the numbers, the voting numbers for county type of stuff, and is there more turnout from
Oh,
Keene
yeah.
than
I
there is from the other cities in
that
Johnson
would be
County?
interesting, yeah.
So influential. So anyway,
Yeah, that
just
would
check
be
it out.
interesting to know.
We have I don't care what town you live in within Johnson County. If you have a business here that's important to you and you like to support the communities, check out all of the chambers of commerce,
Mhm.
because JoCo is truly better together, and we all work together to help lift each other up. Speaking of that, the Cleburne
I
24th
know, I'm
annual
so excited.
Cleburne Chamber of Commerce Business Expo is this Thursday from 2:30 till 7 p.m.
Mhm.
JoCo Community Radio will be there. We will be going live from there. If you want to come talk about your business for 10 minutes or
Right.
so, come join us. We'll kind of make a little bit more of an announcement while we're
Right.
there about that, and kind of pull people in and here and there to talk
Totally
about them.
excited.
So super excited about that. And don't forget, again, we're going to keep reminding you every day, the Rise Mental Health Conference is Saturday, October 8th at Pathway Church, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's free. I know it's Founders Day. Go do your thing at Founders Day and then jump over. Even if you catch part of it, there's some amazing speakers, and it's an amazing opportunity that you can offer to anyone. September 27th, holidays. It is the 270th day of the Gregorian calendar. Silent Spring by Rachel Carson was published, eventually starting an environmental awareness movement. Google was launched.
Wow.
Zai Zingang was the first person of Chinese descent to walk in space. Famous birthdays include Meatloaf, rest in peace,
Yes.
Gwyneth Paltrow, and Lil Wayne. And today is World Tourism Day, so get out and learn about our own community.
Right.
Drive around Johnson County. Have an amazing day. God bless.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost a provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes.